Hey guys, how are you? I am super excited. I know that it's been a minute and we are just beginning back with Empowered Life, and I just can't wait for you guys to meet our BFF. So I'm going to talk the entire time about you, so if you could just tell them so that we can talk.
Sure, of course. Well, my name is Marie, and I launched a lifestyle blog called Our Best Face Forward. So Our as women, cohesive face. Otherwise, I play on words as Our BFF. So everyone's the best friend forever. And the concept behind the blog is that I think that every woman feels the same way I do. You're constantly rushing from one thing to another, but you have no time to pull yourself together. But you always want to look on point wherever you are, because let's face it, ladies, we generally feel how we look. So I thought to myself, we have driverless cars right now, but we don't really have a lot of material of how to streamline our routines. So I decided to help all women streamline our routines by not only offering some tips that I've pulled together, but essentially realizing that every woman has her own little ways, and I'm sure you do too, of how you essentially look the way you do, pretty much amazing, in a short amount of time. So my blog is called Our BFF.
Yes.
And what we do is we send out bi-weekly newsletters with some helpful tips and tools to allow women to present their best selves.
Yes. So we just did a cute little clip, so I hope you guys jump over to Instagram and see some of that. We had actually, we're sponsored by Athleta, and I know that Athleta sponsors you also.
Yes.
And it was just, it was crazy. I was really sick that morning, but I wanted to support our Jordan. And we go there, and I am obsessed with the luggage accessory stuff that we're talking about.
Yes, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. So we actually are doing a month of travel series, and that's because obviously November, December are generally more heavier travel months, and it's always super important to pack light, but make sure you have what you need as you're kind of hustling and going from A to B to C, right? As you're going from, let's say, work to the date to the gym, or maybe you're traveling and you're just trying to get to the airport. And so I pulled together a few posts that are going to come up. So we're going to do post 37 and post 38 on two things. The first thing is travel essentials. So what can you bring that can double as many things so you don't have to bring as many things with you? So one of them is leggings. A pair of leggings will get you through the day, right? You can go, you can work out in them, you can go into the airport with them, you can sleep in them if you really have to. And maybe not both sleeping in our leggings, right? But we can make it work. So I recommend an amazing pair of leggings that I think will work for all occasions. Another thing that I recommend is some earplugs, because earplugs are always going to be helpful, particularly when you find yourself next to that person that's just snoring ever so softly on the seat right next to you. And I know I need my beauty sleep, whatever I can get on a flight, and I'm sure you do too. And then we also offer some makeup bags that will house both your jewelry and your makeup in one. And that's always super helpful because I hate having so many different things to organize. Now, that's number 37.
Did you hear that bell? It was like, ding, ding, she's right.
The universe just like gives it back to you. Like, check.
Totally.
Well, I feel like we just keep needing these, right? So number 38 is actually going to be a post on the weekender / carry-on bag. Which is so hard to find, right? Like, how do you find one that has a space for your shoes and that's light enough, but that's cute enough? And what's important in terms of what our BFF offers is that we're all about being stylish, because I know that when I feel stylish and on point, I'm just more confident, right? So that means I have to be stylish and on point. So when I have a stylish bag that is functional, I feel like, wow, I can get a bunch of stuff done in no amount of time, and I can get them in style. So that's going to be the next one for number 38.
I like it. And also, don't take this the wrong way, ladies, okay? A lot of times y'all come in here in your yoga pants, and then that's what you stay in all day long. So if you got a cute little bag with you that maybe you might fluff up your hair a little bit, might fluff up your makeup a little bit.
Dry shampoo for your hair, right? Just a little bit. I have a travel size dry shampoo from Bumble that'll get you through the day. Doesn't have a spray, it's essentially a powder, so it won't dry out your hair.
Nice.
Yeah.
but just those little tips, and you're gonna feel more confident throughout the day. You're gonna feel sexier through the day. Your man's gonna like that. Not only have you been working on your booty or your woman, whatever you go for, that you come home and you're like, hey, you know. I mean, you just feel good, right?
Yeah, you're just like, I didn't put a lot of work in this. This is just how I am.
Yes.
Just kind of rolled out of bed just like this. No effort required.
Right.
Hello world.
Yes, yes. There's something I wanted to share with you, which I think is really interesting with a lot of the things that are going on right now. We were talking about that you want to drop a little something weekly about self-defense also.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So, for a big part of my life, I've done martial arts. I've always felt, I think, vulnerable being younger. I'm actually an immigrant from Eastern Europe, and Eastern Europe, let's just say, isn't like the safest place. Don't want to say more than that. It's just, I was a small blonde girl, like, so I felt like I needed to be empowered. And so what I realized is that now as an adult, a lot of my friends aren't really being as conscientious as they're walking down the street, or as they're maybe like on the phone, or they're in a dark parking lot somewhere. They're just not aware that if someone's in the corner that you don't see, that you could be a potential victim. And it's not that I'm trying to victimize us. In fact, I'm all about empowerment. However, I think it's super important to be aware. So what we're going to do is, for Instagram, we have a lot of wonderful, lighthearted, funny posts about, like I mentioned, machine-washable work clothes.
She's like this today.
Yeah, like all these little fun things that are cutesy. But what we're going to do is we're starting an initiative in October. It's going to be called the Monthly Awareness Tip. And so once a month, we're going to do these tips, just to remind us as women, to kind of keep in the back of your mind, like the October tips. I'm going to give it away. Ladies, I'm sorry, but I think more awareness is better.
Yeah.
To never keep your headphones on at night. See? Another ring. Boom.
Right?
The universe is giving this to me. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we always want to make sure that we're aware when you're walking down, let's say, an alley or a parking garage, you're not on the phone. You don't have your earplugs in. You don't have one earplug in. I don't want to see that whole like, oh, I just have one in and the other one's out. That means I can really hear. No, if you're blasting music, you're listening to a podcast.
Or your head's down.
Your head's down. Yeah, perfect. Or you're like crossing the street, you're just not aware. And remember, and this is something that's important that I always try to convey, and I was an instructor for a brief amount of time. So one part of self-defense is obviously being able to defend yourself. But another is responding very quickly, right? That response time, that 30 seconds, you're like, wait a minute, someone's about to attack me. And if you just stand there like a deer in headlights, that could really mean maybe life or, well, I don't want to say death, but let's say less life. I don't want to be negative here, but those 30 seconds at the very beginning may just save you. And so I think that that's really important to kind of like always just kind of be on your game. And as you're just walking and what you're doing, just be thoughtful about your surroundings.
I thought it was interesting. We had lunch last week, and then I was in the burbs at the other location. I ran to Starbucks at Jewel in the burbs, like we're talking farmland burbs. And
No one's really around, you think?
No. And a lady was walking behind me, and I kept watching, and this is just instilled in me from my upbringing, that I use the reflection of the cars to see who's by me. And the lady was getting closer, and so I started walking faster, and I zigged right. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You thought I was following you." And I said, "I did." And she goes, "I apologize." I go, "I apologize because I'm hyper aware of something like that." And she actually said, "Aren't you the lady who owns the yoga studio?" And I said, "I am." She goes, "I really wanted to talk to you about that, but can you offer another self-defense class that you did before?" And she goes, "I really think these young girls would be able to really get a lot from it." And the way that you presented it is you make it fun for them and not make them scared, but you're like, hey, check things out, right? So I just thought it was kind of like, I'm surprised your phone isn't dinging to be like, yeah, you should. But I just thought it was interesting, and I said, "I apologize, I'm in the city now." I go, so I'm even more hyper aware of those things. Like when it drives me crazy that these girls are like this on their phones, and not just girls, guys.
There you go.
Guys too. I mean, it makes it not just women are victims, right? So just be really aware of your surroundings, and yeah, I think it was really cool, and I love that, you know.
And I love the martial. See, look at that. So that's the thing. So maybe what we do at some point is actually offer a self-defense class. And I've been really flirting with the idea for a while, but I have found a lot of my friends just aren't as keen on walking in and fighting, right? Like they'll go to yoga, they'll go to Orange Theory on the weekends, but they just don't want to come in and kind of like learn a few tips or tools. And I will say there are some women that do, but they think that they're going to pick it up in like a day. Like they come in, you know, I've had these groups of women come in, they're like, oh my God, my self-empowerment, self-defense day, great. And they think it's kind of like a fun activity, and that's it when they're done with it. And they think they're well empowered.
Right, but then adding that into all of your travel that you do,
yeah.
I mean, that's even like, at least here I know, like, if something was to happen, who I could run to, who I could call.
Right.
But I travel by myself a lot. And, you know, I go to a lot of conferences, and, you know, so I make sure that I'm aware and think about how many of these girls, like, a couple of my girls from here decided that they were just going to move to Thailand for a little while and come back, you know, which is amazing.
It's actually a pretty dangerous country if you're not aware.
Yeah, yeah. So I love the idea of how you're doing your travel, but you're also putting that in. And I have to tell you guys, I was like a giddy little schoolgirl earlier. She's like, I have some lipstick for you, and let me put a little makeup like this, and I'm cracking up. I was like, okay.
Well, I did tell her that I used to work as a makeup artist
Yes.
in high school and college. In fact, that's where I came up with the idea, is that I realized that I just felt better when I knew how to do my makeup. I just felt better about myself because I was more confident. And then I started my career on Wall Street actually at the age of 22, and immediately felt that my male counterparts were judged much less harshly than I was. Mm-hmm. Like, they would come in, shirt untucked, hair somewhere to the left or to the right, no one says a word, right? I come in and they're like, wait, Marie, you look a little tired today. And I was like, really? Tired? Really? I was only up at 3 in the morning putting together this presentation book for you, but and I didn't have any time to put myself together either, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, wait a minute, if you can't change the game, you gotta change the rules.
Yeah, and I love that, like, she does have a couple pieces that are sitting over here that you cannot put them in the wash machine, but my gosh, you know how much time that saves not running to the dry cleaners?
Yeah.
I mean, that, no disrespect, some of my friends who do own some amazing dry cleaners that are all natural, which I do appreciate that too, but being able to throw something in the wash machine and just grab it, not only does it save you money, it saves you time, and then you can rotate through your clothes, right?
Much faster.
Yeah.
Or if you get a stain on your, let's say your blouse, and you want to wear it the next night, you just throw it in the wash and you're done, right? You wait one evening and it dries really quick. You're not dealing with 3-day delay of a dry cleaning cycle, and then you're paying money for it. With machine washable clothing, you're faster, right? Like you can get it done, save time, and style. And that's actually my motto.
And the money that you save, you can buy more clothes.
Yes, that was perfect. I love it.
So I appreciate you guys. She's going to be a staple, so get used to seeing her about every 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll have a lot more content for you.
I cannot wait.
I know. We're having so much fun.
So much fun.
We're like giddy little schoolgirls on the other side of the camera.
Kind of. We're like, oh my God, can we just do this all the time? And in fact, I asked her for drinks afterwards. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Like I have plans. I'm like, what? Gosh, heartbreaker right here.
Right.
I gotta get on her schedule. Busy woman.
You are on my schedule. You were on my early schedule. I got my late schedule. I got my later schedule.
Wow. So how do I get on your later schedule? Now that you're telling the real deal,
Yes.
like, come on. It took only like, X amount of time. I'm not on camera.
Oh my
Anyway.
gosh, she's so funny. Like, you guys, I can't wait for you to meet all of her personality. Like, she's trying to be professional right now, but yeah, no, she's just dropping some little nuggets as to some things that are going to be happening.
Absolutely. Levity is the spice of life.
Yes. So, all right, I love you guys and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.